do people come here now since it's a nature preserve, do people come here to hunt these things? Because there are always people looking for weird trophies, especially some of my friends.
Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium does not allow any of that.
Okay.
Yep.
So going outside and poaching creatures is illegal.
Indeed.
Are there like punishments, fines,
We
enforcement?
have a strictly pack it in, pack it out system.
Okay. And who are those guys in the Napoleon gear? Are those the enforcers?
Oh, no. Those are delighted guests.
Oh.
From the Wallen Empire.
The Wallen Empire?
They were on a sweet ship too.
Yeah. They were on the ship that came over here. They weren't at the fighting games, were they?
Nope.
No. Okay. Interesting. They brought a whole bunch of guys here just to look at. Man, I would be disappointed if my shore leave was and now we took you look at some big shiny rocks.
It's the first shore leave they've had in 99 years of gruesome war.
Oh boy.
I know, they sprung big bucks for this. To be in their shoes.
I tell the guy he doesn't have to be on the clock, but then I have been to Disney World, so
don't break kayfabe.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I mean, like, so, I mean, not that I would do this, but I have weird friends. What keeps people from breaching the perimeter of the city and going out and poaching the creatures? What enforcement is there against that?
Oh, well, the full might of Zilbar Kaleidoscoporium's financial and militaristic power, and he points at all the other gloop creatures. Also, we don't get visited often, and we can say if you can leave the planet or not.
Okay, well, that does make sense. I had shiny rocks at home, so okay. Well, you've been extremely helpful. I'll buy one of these bizarre touristy things that you're selling.
Oh, awesome! The Kaleidoscope space helmet.
I've never been more disoriented. They say my eyes can deceive me, so I don't trust them. I'll start swinging wildly.
Thank you for coming to Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium.
Thanks. I'll show myself out.
Oh, nope. The door's that one. Nope. So, Nefera, who were you trying to talk to?
Well, we can almost pretty much assume that any racks that came here might have done some illegal dealings to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So mind questioning and streetwise would seem like a good goal, a good way to go about what I'm looking for, to see if there have been any dirty dealings in the past.
Yeah. So you're starting to ask around and asking for any racks and any dirty dealings. You are, and who would you be, if you're just going to try to ask someone, are you going to ask someone that's a Zilbar, or are you trying to be asking people that are just the other visitors to this planet?
Well, I think it would be more beneficial to ask people who actually live here who may have seen them.
The answer that you get from every single one you ask is, oh, well, we get lots of visitors. I'm sure they checked out.
I see. Well, thank you.
Yes. Many people come and visit, and many leave. Just like any other guest. And there are no dirty dealings on Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium. Everything is well illuminated.
Yeah, so you wouldn't let me take a look at your entry logs, would you?
Oh, I'm sorry, but those are confidential. It's
Of course.
Zilbar Kaleidoscoporium policy, of course. We
Of
must
course.
preserve the privacy of people that visit the Kaleidoscoporium. We do have our creed, of course, to think about. The honor of all Kaleidoscoporiums.
Yes, I'm sure you've seen a jingle with it in there every day.
Is there anything else you need, ma'am? She looks up at you. You tower over all of them.
No, I think I'm fine for now. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All
So
right.
the three of you have been really chatting up the entire town, and really talking, with all these Zilbars, and you kind of gathered up to talk about. Well, actually, we should do Dr. Lisk's findings first.
Okay.
So, can you have her do an academics and uh, a mind check? Because she's probably going to do a little bit of research on the planet, analyze the signal, try to find a map, and triangulate where it's coming from.
So what'd you say the role was again?
Academics, mind, and then any research bonus that you have.
Okay, I do have a research bonus, and I believe I could probably assist as well if I. No, I don't have academics, unfortunately, so I can't really help that much. Lisk, you're on your own. That is one success for Dr. Lisk.
So it's hard to tell how many there are out there, but there's a number of these signals coming from across the globe, and
Right.
some of them do appear to be close, but can't really tell what they might be.
Okay. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to face check them then. If we at least have the direction to go see what they are, even if we
Yeah.
can't tell at a distance via sensors.
Yeah.
So, head out to the area.
So they look like they are farther than a few hours trip.
Ah, right. So vehicle time then. So I'll head back to town then and report my
Yeah.
findings to everyone.
So
That'd be... Yeah, go ahead.
the three of you are all getting ready, and well, there's really only one place to eat in the entire compound, and that's Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Diner. And you arrive to meet a Zilbar there, who's this one has a little bow tie on, while most of them are just gloop. Welcome to Zilbar's Kaleidoscoporium Diner. Do you have a reservation?
Oh, reservation? No, we don't. We
Uh,
just need a table.
your names?
I'll go ahead and give them mine. Mitherlin here with Dr. Lisk.
And the
And
others?
company.
Ah. Oh. You did have a reservation, sir. Come this way. You've been cordially invited to dinner from from the plenipotentiary themselves. Oh, I'm so excited.
Interesting. I guess we'll take them up on the offer then.
Oh, been right this way.
Midland pockets a couple notes that she was gonna spend on dinner. Yeah, score. Saved another $1.
So this Zilbar takes you to a private dining room in this diner, and seated there is describe your character, and how do you pronounce your title?
I think you said it right. Plenipotentiary, right?
Plenipotentiary.
Plenipotentiary means you have the full authority of whatever foreign government you represent.
That's exactly what it means, yeah.
You bought authority 3 times, didn't you?
Legal authority multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, I thought. All right.
So who is this guy? Is the king of space?
Who is this guy? What does he look like?
Yeah, tallish human male, slicked back, grayish hair, defined, I want to say like almost Middle European, Middle Eastern European rather, I should say, facial features. I mean, I could drop a picture of what he looks like in the chat as well. I would say a little shorter than tall, but taller than medium height, average human build. He also wears what looks like um like a fancy outfit. Not technically a fancy outfit, but a fancier than normal outfit.
The light is hitting him perfectly, so you see like the strength of his jawline and the glass, that he's circling in front of him contemplatively. It's a sharp outfit.
It's the most interesting man in space.
Yes. What do you do?
Yeah, what's the opening line?
Yeah, I suppose I stand up from my table.
Why bow?
Yeah,
I bow to no man.
of course he wouldn't, especially not to me. No, I stand up from the table, extend my arms wide, say, it's a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance. I am Alexandre Isanomine.
Alexander, a pleasure to meet you. Planetentiate. What do we owe the honor then? I'm
I
Mitherlin, and these are my friends. It seems you already know us.
could not help but see you disembarking at the port. You see, I am in the need of certain things, and you people certainly look like the type that could be made to acquiesce or acquire certain things.
Yeah, acquiring is pretty cheap. Acquiescing is a bit more.
But come, sit, eat. I'm not one to have a deal be made on empty stomachs.
And I'm not one to turn down free food.
Well, since you have in fact paid for the meal, it'd be impolite to not hear you out.
And it's gonna be delicious human food too. It's gonna be like caffeine and salt.
You sit down to a delicious dinner, served all with a nice drink of crystal light. Fit the theme.
The official beverage of
I
It
suppose
says there's
I,
a delicacy human beverage on this list. Crystal Pepsi. Have you tried this yet?
don't wait until you try the crystal vodka. I suppose I should actually introduce the character though, since the actual
Yeah.
the text word briefing. I am Plenipotentiary Alexandre Ansamine, aristocrat, human, noble, personality proud, motto: a rising tide floats all boats. Goal: hire a crew.
All right.
There you have it, and to a wonderful dinner and drink as well. Do you discuss business during dinner or after?
After, you know, crack out a cigar, wait for the drinks to go around.
Well, then it sounds like pleasantries first, then.
Yes.
So, what is this planet that you rule over?
I do not rule over a planet. That's
Or
That's what my father does. Ha 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 ha!
the idle nobility, of course.
That's a
Well,
joke.
tell us
That
more
was a
about
joke.
it.
I'm sorry. It seems like you didn't get that. Otherwise, you'd be laughing.
I'm sorry, the human humor often just flies right over my head. Uh, uh, but tell us about this world you're from.
This anime? Yes. It is a strange place, but it is the epicenter of advancement for the Solar Creed. It is quite the world. I'm not here to talk about where I come from. I am here to see if you are going to block this guy on Twitch.
What a weird
Seamless.
request.
Banned. Anyway. Anyway. Sorry, I see those things
You're a
pop up,
power
and
and
I've got to.
influence over others already.
I see those things pop up. You got to get rid of. Yeah, snap that in the bud right there, correctly.
It's his legal authority times 3. He controls this. They got legal authority in the game, legal authority on Twitch, and legal authority who knows where yet.
Look, around here we don't cotton to bots, especially bots advertising stuff on our Twitch chat.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said, there are certain things that I'm after, and I require people able to ascertain, people able to think on the field, people with skills to get things done. I don't know if you know this or not. The word has gotten even this far about your deeds, shall we say?
Oh no. Playing that game has actually made me draw attention to myself, hasn't it?
Well, those who practice the tactical field do pay attention to the goings on Warcon. It is where the best of the best go to flaunt their skills, after all.
Oh, well, I guess I'll have to admit I'm not exactly an amateur tactician, and neither is my friend Nefiru.
She'll nod her head.
And you, good sir? Nothing to say, or just lost in the drink?
I think he means you, Raph.
I know. Sorry, I had to unmute. It's like, um, I have no strong feelings one way or the other, my lord.
Ah, yes. A fine provisioner of neutrality. Clearly, you are the face of the group.
We're highly skilled people. I think you will find that we are forceful and effective paramilitary force.
It would be better to have a group that could handle themselves should a fight break out than to have a expert academic negotiator who could not, I should say.
That's what I keep saying.
Well, I guess if you're looking for a planet to be turned over, you come to the right people. That seems to be our wheelhouse. But I suspect that's probably not actually the case.
I have no desire to see a planet turned over. No. I mean,
Maybe rotate it a little.
Well, you think you'll find the planets constantly rotating, being that we're not a tidally locked world. You can tell by the moon. The moon is
Move
constantly
to
rotating.
left, right, as needed. But so what is it that you're after then?
There's
Now
an
that dinner's
object on this world that I have been searching for across a great number of other worlds, and I think that perhaps your skills might come in handy in locating it, perhaps even acquiring it. And I would like to bring you on board under my charge, under my wing, as they say.
And what exactly is it that you're looking for?
You see, that is what I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. I only know that it puts out a signal.
How did we get a reputation for people who find other things for people that they don't know what they look like?
I'm going to guess the Malmengadi don't exactly have full operational security. It seems like the Solar Creed has a couple of spies among them. And of course, being the other faction looking for this exact same thing and participating in a highly public national rank game, it appears that it's not exactly a private secret now. It's an open secret. You know it if you're supposed to know. So, I see we're definitely after the same thing, and you have the signal too. Good work on the Solar Creed's part, I suppose. I think I'm not opposed to working with people, of course. It's my thing. But I have to ask, why do you think the Solar Creed should have the prize at the end of this trail? Why do you think it's responsible for anyone to have it?
If not us, then who?
Well, hopefully nobody.
Well, somebody has to have it. The other option is laughable at best.
What do you think the Solar Creed would do with it once they have it?
Prepare for the day when we would need to use it.
Uh,
I think you'll
um,
find that one day perhaps the Syndics will return. And in that day, we will need every tool in our arsenal. Until that day, we must prepare. We must advance. We must attain everything possible to ensure our position in this universe.
I suppose that's very optimistic of you to assume it won't be turned against others, not the Syndics themselves.
Well, if we turn it against ourselves, then clearly we wouldn't be here at the end of the day to fight the Syndics when they come back.
Well, the
Also, it
Solar
doesn't
Creed has
behoove
more than
us.
one enemy out there. And of course, I presume actually owning it might ruffle some feathers of the Malmengadi a little bit.
I don't think they have feathers.
Well, they're
Oh,
we'll
God.
scratch your chin for a little bit. Chitinous exo hairs?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there are so many different breeds of them across the many different planets of space that they claim to own. One of them, they must have bred at least one flying spider, I'm sure.
Still, we might need some assistance. And despite a little bit of maybe naivete on your own part, I would agree to accept some help on the condition, of course, that maybe you're
Denied.
true to your word on it.
Denied. I think you're taking this negotiation in the wrong direction, sir. Ma'am.
Am I?
Ma'am. Ma'am, sir?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, sir. It is I who am hiring you, not the other way around. Conditions are not to be made by you, but I.
Well, we could always just say no.
You could.
It is, of course, the right of the workers to demand their own rightful pay.
Of course.
And
I do
so,
represent the Solar Creed, after all.
and since I represent our workers,
No, I
I, of course,
believe that
want to.
your workers represent themselves. You are merely being a mouthpiece.
True enough. And I'll look over to you two. Do I speak for all of you?
Um, yes.
Nefiru?
Yes.
Then Alexander. As long as you can keep to your word that the Solar Creed will not turn it against others, and perhaps if we have some oversight to ensure such, I can agree.
Of course, I can guarantee you there will be oversight. Primus inter pares.
As long as it is not used to subjugate other worlds, better somewhere we know than not.
What am I? The remnants?
Well, you are an extrasolar empire, but I think we have a deal for today. Shake?
No, I just had a drink.
Oh. All right. So, secondary business, of course. We've already been looking for the signal. It turns out it's underground. Big shocker there, of course. Planet's a little big, though, and that's a little bit vague. It might take a heavy expedition to go hunting for it.
Did we clarify what his Nibs is hiring us to find?
We're after the same key.
Oh, well, so we're getting paid to do what we're already going to do.
Exactly.
Mr. Mitherland, oh, sorry, Madam Mitherland, you're a genius.
Or an opportunist. The same applies, though.
I bow to you.
So, you seem like a man who already has a whole escort here. I assume you've already prepared for such an expedition, aren't you?
I find in this universe of ever-changing details that it is important to always be prepared for anything that may come upon you. At least that's what my teacher used to say before jumping out of closets.
Strange fellow, but all right. So you did come prepared. That's good. Do you have a vehicle? Planetary one.
No, I was unprepared for that.
Oh, well, we're going to be hoofing it. I've identified at least another cave nearby that we could infiltrate into, and we can make that our entrance and exit. Maybe set up a base camp, begin exploring the caves below, and see if we could track down the signal.
Of
Does
course.
this sound
Of course, we should depart in the morrow.
very well then? So we'll make our arrangements and we'll be ready for tomorrow. We'll meet you there.
Oh. All right.
And we'll go back to the hotel after dinner, unless anyone else has anything to talk about.
I don't, and it looks like everybody just dropped off a roll 20.
Yeah, I just
Oh
got
yeah,
interrupted.
I think I'm technically still there, but I'll refresh anyway.
Yeah, I
but
was
we'll
going to ask if that was just me, but I got dumped too.
yeah. But I'll ask once we get back to the motel. So everybody, well, I guess we'll be working with the Solar Creed.
We're getting paid to do what we were already doing, so this is fantastic.
Well, getting paid is nice. Keeping a planetary weapon out of the hands of empires was sort of my original goal, but I'm suspecting it might not work out for us. I guess
Somebody,
having one ally is good, but I'm skeptical still.
I feel better about us not having it. I don't think I can be trusted with a world-destroying weapon.
Well, good, because I was going to ask, one of us needs to keep a hold of this hat. At all cost.
And it can't be me. I already have a nice hat.
Pragmatic as always. So Nefiru, I think it's probably best if I entrust you with the hat.
Very well.
You don't have to wear it around, of course, but
No, I insist. Put the little strap, the little hat, and the giant dinosaur.
Actually, this is a good question. What kind of hat is it? Is it just like a flower hat, It's, bright yellow rim, or is it a cowboy hat? A bowler? Top hat?
It's a hat that it's a large hat. It's got several colors in different colored sections, and it's got a little stem at the top. And when the wind blows, it rotates and makes a beautiful melody.
So it's a pointy pinwheel hat.
Yes.
I don't think anyone's gonna wear it. Yeah, Nefiru, you can just keep it in your back. I'd appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Don't. I think you're large enough. No one should be able to get a hold of it.
That was my first thought. My other thought is if someone wants to wear it, it's just some elaborate set of poops and strange, almost like circles of different liquids poured down the inside of a glass, and then when the wind goes through it, all the different just almost like a whole wearing a whole set of pipes on your head.
Yeah, just like a big wind chime.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
It gives you a penalty to any like trying to hide. I think that's deceit, but it does give you a flight speed.
Oh, we can give flight. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's the pinwheel going at the top, or the pipe starting to give you lift.
I think it's got a little silly.
I'm sorry. Was that not serious? Well, everybody, even as much as I don't necessarily like the Solar Empire or any government, Alexander at least seems like a nice fellow. Maybe a little naive, young, but I think he's
done
at least
anything that's personally offended me.
He hasn't done anything yet. That's true. It's easy enough not to offend people.
I mean, he's offered me money. That's pretty much how to get on my good side.
But I'm not sort of sensing, a critical point in him where he'd turn and impose his will on the entire galaxy or something. I'm not expecting him to transform or anything in front of our eyes.
Well, he hasn't gotten hold of the Lochnar yet. That's our third key.
It's true. We got a whole another one. And hey, at least we'll get a free ride with him to the third. So I don't have any problems from here on out. And I'm ready for tomorrow morning if anyone else has anything they want to say or do.
I just need to take a quick break to go upstairs.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Yeah. I'll just, I mean, we already either we're gonna go caving or we're gonna go explore the wilderness. Because I mean that's all I can say is like, I mean, we could go look for one of the Uyghur signals in the wilderness. Getting in here is gonna be more difficult because we'd have to breach those doors under visibility. So either way, I'm ready to rest until tomorrow. If our new boss can bring any resources to bear, that would be something that we worth looking into.
I'm almost half expecting Alexander with his whole crew outside to just go ahead and declare the entire planet under martial law of the Solar Creed, and then just walk in through the door.
Don't know how this planet is ripe to be seized. I mean, if it, you could just move an army in and just take everything over. Looks like Roll20 might be back.
Yeah, I just got back into it.
Yeah, it's loading for me.
Yeah, so the only thing I want to say before we start the next morning is when you wear the hat and you walk around with it, it sounds like an incomplete song. When you start to when you wear and walk it around, it starts to make some noise and melody even just by moving, but the song doesn't sound complete.
Tripart chord. I'm sure if we had a conductor still, he could probably tell us something about that, but what you gonna do?
Hold the seashell to your ear. I'm sorry, hat. Hold the hat to your ear. It's not an incomplete song. It's the wind, Mythoman. It's the wind that you're hearing. The hat
It's
has
just
holes.
the sound of hat.
The hat has holes in the top, and you're wearing it over
Put
your
it to
ears.
your ear and you can hear the sound of space. Listen. Nothing.
It is about halfway through, so I think we should take a short break. So I can also use the bathroom as well. So
yeah, wait for Roll20 to get back, and I'll get a short drink too. Be right
Short
back,
drink?
everybody. Yeah, I got a short cup.
You need a baby cup.
Don't leave me alone with breakfast.
yeah, like
We don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, everybody in because everybody in Myriad Song is pretty terrible.
Yeah. And that's why it's good to be an anarchist.
I mean, the players were well, because we're bucking the trend. Because I've seen a lot of some games like World of Darkness and their imitators like Legend of the Five Rings will often have clans that you're supposed to join. You get in the game, and here are all the clans, and each of the clan is worded in a way that they're idiosyncratic, but none of them are actually bad, except this one is actually bad. But then we'll come up with a book that says they're actually, good. There's actually a worse one that we didn't know about that's even worse. Like this is
Here's
the
the secret one that's really bad.
Yeah, you can't be the Sabat. Now the Fomori are the bad ones. Oh wait, did we say the Fomori were the bad ones? But the book. Moving on.
You mean the Strix, the things you can't even be.
So the original Theory Behind Myriad song was, and I've been very clear about this to people, it's like, you're an itinerant adventurer who probably doesn't have many ties to one of these large organizations, which makes you valuable. It's the same theory we did in Ironclaw. And it's there are reasons to throw in with these larger guys, but there's also reasons not to trust them. That they have their own thing. Like here with the Solar Creed. Yes, I think it would be bad if the Solar Creed had a world-destroying weapon. On the other hand, there are other guys. I don't want anybody to have the world-destroying weapon.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's sort of the what I tried to play out. I think that worked about as said.
If they can get us the resources to get into the planet and get the second key, which is an expensive undertaking, that would be great.
And we're back, by the way.
Yeah, I was just letting that topic play out because it was
just having fun
interesting
talking.
and worthy. Yeah.
Well, I enjoy because we were largely inspired by some of the other settings, like I mentioned in the text chat, and in the Raktus chat. I don't know about other people, but I often feel constrained when you're playing a setting that's been around too long, like either like one that's like Star Wars or Star Trek, where there's a crap ton of canon material, or a science fiction setting where they've imposed a lot of rules or canon on you about what's going on. That doesn't happen that much. There's not a lot of sci-fi games out there. Starfinder's pretty new. Traveler can't make up its freaking mind. And
I'll be surprised if it does.
Right. So
it has 2 editions. Who does
You kind of want like enough gray area to be able to make stuff up without running into too many. I mean, it's like narrative rules, right? Like if you have too many rules, it slows down combat, and if you have too much narrative rules, then you can't create a
right. What you want is like the seed that gives people something to creatively latch onto and grow from.
Yeah, I mean, you want that's why what we present is we present like, okay, here enough of the Solar Creed so you can get an idea of what they're at, and even what I said, you can even tweak that a little bit. I mean, obviously, Theta is gonna have a different take than I do. But it's enough.
Always do.
The important thing about the game is it's what you're doing in the game. That's kind of the morality. We didn't want to have, let's label things good and bad. It's what are you doing right now that is your morality. So I mean, allying with the Solar Creed to get the key is good because this is going to be expensive and difficult, but it's also bad that they might use it. Or actually,
at the same time, there's the Solar Creed, and as you mentioned earlier in our conversation, maybe they'll just blow it up.
Well, in fact, if this is a Syndic device, the Solar Creed are anti-Syndic. They might destroy it. Of course, it might destroy the universe, but yeah.
You didn't need the universe anyway. What good was it?
Let's just move on to the next one.
That's what it did.
Yeah. Well, I've been reading a lot of
next universe.
What I've been reading a lot of Invol, is it? Invol, and Metabaron.
Oh, Metabarons. Oh my god.
Well, Metabaron spins off from the Johtoverse. What's the other one? The main one from Johtoverse.
The Inkle's the first one.
Inkle, that's what I was trying to remember. Yeah, I was I only read was it End of Inkle? What's the final Inkle series?
I want to say it's called Final Inkle, but I've only read Inkle
that's it.
and some of the Metabarons titles. There's so much of it to read.
Final Inkle because it had a pretty good story, but it has by far the better art style of the other ones. And then Metabaron has the same art style.
That's fighting words, man.
Well, to me, it's true. But I was reading Metabaron, and what you were saying, Metabaron goes on a 3-issue stint where I'm reading it. I'm like, this is just Avatar. I'm just reading Avatar now because they literally
I mean,
just
that's not bad.
yeah. Well, they pour all their shit into a planet so that they can use it. They blow it up and use the blown up planet as a portal to go to another universe, where
Yep.
then they fight. And it's just Avatar. It's literally okay. This one guy who's an alien on the world convinces the other aliens, like tries to convince them not to fight the technologically superior people called Technos. By the way, I hate that name. And it's
And-
Avatar.
And pointedly came out before Avatar.
But
So
still,
yeah,
that's I didn't. I was thinking about it, but I didn't even look it up. It's just like I'm reading Avatar now.
okay, and
Are these comics or are they
They're
books
comics.
or graphic novels? Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
they're in fact the Meta Barons was just recently on a Humble Bundle. I picked up a whole bunch of them. I also until very recently had the Meta Barons role playing game, which used a D6 base. It was pretty good. D6 was a good match for it. And obviously Inkle and Meta Barons were big inspiration on Myriad Song because it's presented in the style of the old Inkle. I mean, here's Theta saying, "Oh, I like the new art style." It's like, well, we like the old art style. But
Well, I mean, I could see where you might draw inspiration from the old art style because, shit. What is the one with the funny hats? I'm sorry. I know it's just a weird, broad spectrum thing, but say again?
Azrak, the one where the guys with the funny hats and riding the giant seagulls.
No. Most of your inspirational art has like nobility, sci-fi nobility, with weird, tall, funny hat sort of things. I've seen the art style. Is that it? Is that what it's from?
That's Mobius. And
Mobius, that's the one.
Yeah, that's Mobius is the artist, and that's usually associated with Azrak or with City of Fire.
Right, and that seems to be what seems to be most of your artistic inspiration comes from it. And I didn't like
there was a lot of it because we're inspired by that 1970s. I mean, we couldn't get Mobius,
yeah. I didn't like the art style of Mobius either.
But we were lucky enough to get folks like Rick Veitch, Carl Critchlow, Matt Howarth, people who were working during those times. So and knew the art style. So I mean, yeah, we're a love letter to those kinds of big, wacky, exploratory comics. And then we did a sequel to that because we did Farflung, which is more like Meta Barons, which is just really crazy over the top stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Meta Barons I could see coming out with like a Lex style show. Because it really seems like that kind of weird space opera sort of thing.
Oh, definitely. Lex, I think, is definitely inspired by that. So
Meta Barons looks really cool.
Inspired by that. So.
And this is how the book club starts.
Meta Barons looks really cool. I'd love a comic book club would be pretty awesome.
I mean, we.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, we can throw it out there, see if we get together. Sure, we do. Fighting is entertaining.
$5 today on Patreon. You can join us in our.
The only two comics I read right now are the Conan the Barbarian one by, I think it's Marvel, and just the Conan the Barbarian line, not the the Serpent War one.
This will be my last divergence here. The Conan copyright expired in Europe, but not in the US because the US has stupid rules. So there's a whole bunch of awesome Conan stuff coming out in Europe.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But then the other one I do is the Knights at the Dinner Table magazine.
Yep.
But
I'm familiar.
But comic book aside, you guys were just about to head off into the crystalline forests and try to find the nearest signal. Is there anything you wanted to buy or purchase before going in? What? Just curious.
I'm ready whenever. That's why I travel light.
I brought my survival kit earlier for exactly this occasion. And I have my 2 hunters who are ready to bag any game that we come across.
Yeah, I guess I show up in a heliotrope outfit.
Holy crap.
with
What do
a
you want with?
Xenharmonic blade on my hip, or I guess the holder for the
Oh, yeah.
blade.
You
Uh,
got the aristocratic logo.
what seems appropriate here? And a hypergolic rifle.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what we're going into, so I guess I should be prepared for both.
Wait, do you have a Zen? Are you
Aristocratic. You have like the Xenharmonic pistol and
I am,
blade,
and
right?
so
yeah,
you're different
Yeah.
from the solar? So you're one of the weird Solar Creed guys who's like, yeah, I know it causes pollution, but it's still, it's a weapon.
I like to use it to cut bread,
look, when you get to the higher cult levels of the Solar Creed, some of us are a bit bloated and float off the ground. I'm just saying.
All right, Arconin.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, sometimes when you get too far above the rest of the normal people, you start to
aristocrats are
dabble.
associated with the remnants aristocracy, but hey, you could just be some weirdo who joined the Creed, and that would be in line with Theta.
Is a hyperglostic rifle like a crazy flamethrower?
It literally is shooting rocket fuel at people. Yes.
Okay.
It was literally, we had rocket fuel lying around. As I tell people, a lot of the weapons, like some of the weapons was, hey, we made some rocket fuel. It's not good enough to put in a rocket. Well, will it set people on fire? Yes, it will. Okay, put it in the gun.
Right, we'll cleanse them with fire.
It's a sci-fi super soaker.
Yes, it is a form of super soaker.
I'm sure there's at least one species out there that uses it for entertainment.
I believe it's the Pharaoh.
So you guys begin. So you guys set off into the out of the compound. Several of the Zilbarvs give you away.
How do we get
Remember
out?
our eco-conscious rules. Pack it in, pack it out.
By the way, I have no idea what that means.
If you take a shit, take it with you.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you're noble. You never do that.
Like low impact. You're not allowed to take anything out. Your style forced,
Actually,
or I guess
You
planet
just saw me
management.
carrying a flamethrower rifle with me.
Mhm.
Low impact. Zathras, you are not.
That's Zilbar Kaleidoscopium policy. They have a large gate that they can just open up.
Mhm.
Yeah, big enough to fit King Conqueror, I assume.
Just large enough.
Oh, so Neferu has to squeeze in.
It's a large
You got
enough
a
gate
duck.
that you might even be able to get a vehicle in and out.
If only we had one.
You also haven't seen any vehicles in the compound either.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
look like
imagine since it's
anyone.
like 6 buildings large, it's like the most they might need is like something to carry cargo from the manufactory to a ship.
That's probably the only vehicle you have seen. I don't know if you want to
Can we
try to
borrow
drive
the
that out into
forklift?
the forest.
Yeah, I guess we're just huffing it, honestly.
It doesn't sound like they do a lot of commerce here. That they're mostly just a tourist trap.
I mean, did you see Universe's giant ball of yarn?
No.
Oh,
Well, I
man.
did see the Kaleidoscope Museum.
You got to go back.
Get like 5 notes for that.
I don't need to see it. I got this helmet. It's the experience whenever I want.
Kaleidoscope on the go. You journey out, and the forest pretty much starts almost immediately, and it looks like it might even be dangerous to have most vehicles out, because you see there are some jagged chunks of which is like crystal all over the ground. Looks like it could be dangerous to even some vehicles. It looks like any other large, like forested terrestrial planet. It might even look like going out and hiking outside today, but all the the plants and everything just has this strange shine, like they just catch the light just so, and in that light you can see things have like crystalline needles, and some spots have been sharpened up to points, and you have to kind of watch where you step.
Does something on this planet eat crystal?